We are here today with Maria Riofrio, who is a national trainer with the LISA initiative. Welcome, Maria.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. And I hear that you are getting an award very soon. What is that?
Yes, well, I was very honored that they gave me the award for the National Financial Educator of the Year for 2019.
That is fantastic. So National Financial Educator of the Year. And who gives out that award?
That is the National Financial Educators Council.
Okay.
That is our partner for the LISA initiative Financial Literacy Education Program. They are the creators of the curriculum, and they are our partners. They create the curriculum. We have it, all the resources that we have are provided by them.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So could you tell me a little bit more about LISA and what you do as part of the LISA initiative?
Yes, well, the LISA initiative was born as a women's movement.
Okay.
Because Phil and Debbie Gerliger were very concerned about all the information that as women we are lacking in the financial decisions of in our financial life.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with many projects and many questions at the same time. We didn't know where we were going, but as soon as it was born, then we make this partnership with the National Financial Educators Council. They labeled their curriculum to the LISA initiative, and what we have is all our agents that want to become financial educators, that are willing to do it on a volunteer basis, that want to get back to the community and reach out to them by giving basic money management skills. We have like 40 modules from financial psychology, budgeting, credit, loan payments, investments, all kinds of financial subjects. A lot of things that we don't know, we haven't been taught at school or at home. And they are very important because, for example, understanding credit is a main thing when you are trying to do something for your financial future.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know that credit is a huge deal, and we don't get the education that we need in terms of credit, knowing about budgeting, all of those things. And as women especially, I think that education is really lacking. Why were you passionate about this initiative? Why did you want to get involved in this work?
Well, for me, as soon as Debbie started talking to me about this initiative and what she wanted to do, I felt like every one of the statistics she was mentioning, or many of the statistics she was mentioning, they were talking to me. Because my husband died when I was 47 years old. It was a car accident. We were not prepared at all to face that. I didn't have any tools. I was starting, that was the year that I came to the United States as a resident visa holder. And that same year, he died in Ecuador, in my country where I'm from. And for me, it was not only devastating because, of course, of losing him, but it was losing him and now what? Because I didn't have a clue of where to start, what to do, I felt like my floor and my ceiling was gone.
Yeah.
I felt so anxious about what am I going to do now, because I was not young, and he was taking care of everything pertaining our financial future. So
right.
I didn't know what to do. Honestly, I felt like I didn't know where to run, where to hide. And I felt like I was put in a racing car, and I didn't know how to turn the lights on.
Right.
And this car was already
in motion.
In motion.
What kind of students do you see as part of the LISA initiative? Who do you educate? I know it started out as an initiative for women. Has it stayed that way?
No. Our curriculum goes from students of pre-K to all the way to adults. We have subjects that we can talk to kids, teenagers, people that is ready to retire. We can talk to anybody about financial education. As I said, this is basic money management skills.
Okay. Awesome.
Something as simple as having your budget, but sometimes we think that we hear that word budget and we feel intimidated by it. We think that we are going to need a lot of financial knowledge for that. That's not the case. I mean, you can do it as simple or as complicated as you want.
Right.
But it's very important to be aware of all the money that you're having as an income, your expenses, where you can save, where you can do things to make it better.
What are some of the communities that you guys have reached out to? What have you guys been doing, in the last year or last several years to earn this award?
Well, our company is known by changing the face of insurance. And our agents are from the Hmong community, Cambodian community, Vietnamese. We have Hispanic community, African Americans. And during these years that I've been working with them in financial education, training them as trainers or helping them to do workshops, I had the opportunity to go to all of these communities. It is amazing because we think that it is something from one or the other community. Yeah, we need education. All of them say we need education. Mm-hmm. And we don't realize it's all of us here.
Right.
And not only immigrants in the United States, but people from the United States. They are born and raised here, and they are not exposed to the right information. We are doing just things because something worked for somebody else. And we don't do our homework by trying to educate ourselves. And I've discovered that education knowledge plus actions is what the real power is. Mm-hmm. Because if you know things, like everybody knows we have to have a budget, right? Mm-hmm. Not everybody's doing it.
Right.
Why? Because, as I said, we procrastinate. We think it's going to be too difficult. We think it's going to be too boring. We think we are not, for example, in my case, when my husband died, I didn't feel I was going to be able to handle my financial future. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what was going to happen with my life. But I had to, that was the only moment that I knew that it was my responsibility. It was nobody else's responsibility.
Right.
So I had to start working on knowing, on learning things. And after learning, of course, on being disciplined, on having my priorities in line to be able to do what I needed to do. And it has been a fantastic learning experience. And that is what I use. I tell everybody, I was able to do it. Mm-hmm. Why not you?
That's something I know, as part of First Financial Security, it's something we deal with all the time. We're constantly trying to educate people on that what if, right? That eventuality, yes. That risk that we're living with all the time of, if the primary wage earner passes away, or even not the primary wage earner, right? If the homemaker passes away and suddenly you have to replace a caregiver and a housekeeper and a cook and, all these things that someone does as part of a household. And we talk about that a lot, right? Where granted, most of the time it's in terms of life insurance, but in this case, with the Lisa initiative, it's about tangible ways that people can really impact their lives through education and through knowledge. So it's amazing to see some agents taking that and really going out there and trying to educate that same audience about that eventuality, because what happened to you is so real, especially for women. I mean, that's what happens to a lot of women, that they don't have charge of their financial situation at the moment, and it's a risk.
Yes, and for example, teenagers. When we go and talk to teenagers, that's another audience that needs a lot of attention, because if we teach to them how to manage their finances, we are preventing the problem.
Right.
We don't have to wait till they go to college, till they get into student loans without even knowing what are the real
consequences.
Yes, consequences, or what are they signing?
Right.
They don't really understand, because that decision is on an adult. I mean, it is made by an adult, which is 18 years old. They are an adult, but they are still kids in some things,
right.
In some ways, and they don't really know what they are signing. They are getting into big student loans without knowing if they are going to be able to pay. Of course, I mean, they have to take the risk, but they don't have to risk all they have. But if we teach them how to create an emergency fund, how to not get into credit card debt, plus the student debt, how to start paying their student debt on time, not to defer it. And there's a lot of things that we will be able to avoid if we talk to teenagers, if we talk to kids that are getting ready to go to college.
Yeah. Well, and I think, it could help shape some of their decisions in terms of what they do for professions, in terms of looking at, their dreams and what does that mean, right? What does it mean to have to go to school for one thing or another, and how much are you going to have to pay to do that, and what does it look like at the end of that journey? It's, I know talking to teenagers can be a challenge, talking to really young people can be a challenge, because they don't have their own resources at the moment all the time, and so it's difficult to talk in the abstract, but that's really where it starts.
And they don't think they need it. They don't really think they need it. I mean, imagine bringing a group of teenagers to talk to them about how to manage their finances. Sometimes it's difficult, but as soon as you get their attention, because you let them know that you're there because you care about them, you care about their future. You don't want them to make the same mistakes that many other people is doing.
Right.
So that is why it is very important, because that is preventing. Talking to women, we can, if we teach women, or if we educate women on finances, we are educating the next generation too.
Well, Maria, it sounds like you guys are reaching a large audience, that you're giving them really useful information, that you really care about these people. It's no wonder that you've won this amazing award for 2019. We're so thrilled for you. If you want to learn more about the Lisa Initiative, you can go to lisainitiative.com.
Yes.
Or always contact Maria or us here at FFS if you're interested in becoming a certified financial educator. We're so excited about what the year holds for you and for Lisa, and we can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Thank you, Camille. This is, for me, this is just a new way, or I just feel a higher commitment on trying to learn more. I am so passionate about my job. It never feels like a job, and this for me is a great honor, and I am really grateful, because I can do all this, and I can reach out to all the communities that I am reaching out. Even when I go to my country, to Ecuador, on vacation, they are asking me, "What are you doing in the States?" And because they know what I do here, and they wanted to learn about it. So I was able to do a workshop in Ecuador too. And I know that everything that I'm doing, it's because of all the support that I get from Phil and Debbie here at FFS. If it was by myself, I would be doing it with the same passion, but I wouldn't be able to reach all the communities I'm reaching out because I have all their support. So I am really grateful. When I started on this, I always tell them that they trust me even a lot more than I trust myself.
Yeah.
And that is what had made this amazing change in my life, because now I am talking about something that once in my life was such, I was so anxious about. If somebody wanted to talk to me about money, it created such an anxiety in me that I would be running to the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But Phil and Debbie, as I said, they had a lot of confidence that I was going to be able to do this, and they have supported me in every way.
Awesome.
So I'm really thankful for them, and I think that this is not my award. This is a team job and a team success, actually, because the more people we educate, that is when we feel that we are successful.
Awesome. Well, I know that the team here at FFS is so proud of you, Maria, and we're happy to be alongside you.
Thank you, Camille.
Thanks for talking today.